Hello friend and welcome to the course. In this our first lecture, we're going to start with environment setup. We're going to be setting up our environment to seamlessly run our HTML codes. Alright, so a simple text editor is all you need to learn HTML. And there are a couple of different types of text editors out there, but I'm going to recommend a few ones. Well, the first text editor I'm going to recommend is VS Code or Visual Studio Code. So you can come over here to Google and type Visual Studio Code, download, something like this, and hit enter. Alright, so now we're going to want to click the first link right here that says download Visual Studio Code, Mac, Linux, and Windows. So let's go ahead and click on that link, and it will take us straight here to the Visual Studio official download page where we can download VS Code or Visual Studio Code for both Windows and Mac. So if you are using Windows, you're going to want to click the Windows button right here, or the Mac. So let's go ahead and now click on the button, and your download will begin automatically once you click the Windows button. As you can see right here, you're going to want to go ahead and click the start download button, and your download will begin. As for me, I don't need to download it again because I have already downloaded Visual Studio on my local machine. So after the download, you're going to want to go ahead and locate your executable file right here, Visual Studio Code, and go ahead and install it. Alright, so you're going to want to click on accept, next, and you're going to want to go ahead and check on this checkbox that says create a desktop icon if you want to have a shortcut on your desktop. And then after that, you're going to go ahead and say next and go ahead and click on the install. So for me, there's no need for me to hit on the install button now because I have Visual Studio already installed on my local machine. So you're going to want to go ahead and click on the install, and the program will be installed on your PC. Alright, so let me actually go ahead and cancel this window. Yes, and close this window as well. So that is for Visual Studio Code, and you can also go for Sublime Text. You can come over here to Google and type Sublime Text download, click on the first link, and you're going to be taken straight to the Sublime Text official download page. Alright, and as you can see right here, you can go ahead and download Sublime Text for Mac, Windows, and Linux. All you need to do is go ahead and click on the OS of your choice. Let's say for Windows, and your download will begin automatically. Alright, as you can see, we can go ahead and now hit on the start download button to start downloading Sublime Text. And after successfully downloading the Sublime Text, we can go ahead and install it on our local machine to start writing our HTML code. Alright, so now moving to the last text editor that I'll be recommending, which is Atom. So you can come over here and type in Atom download, and when you go ahead and click on the first link right here, you're going to be taken to the Atom download official page. As you can see, we have a big download button right here, so you can go ahead and hit on the download button to start downloading Atom. And after the download, you can as well go ahead and install Atom onto your local machine, and you'll be good to go. That means you are set to start writing your HTML code. Alright, so friend, these are basically the text editors that I recommend you use when starting with HTML because they are free, open source, and easy to use. And for this course, we're going to be using Visual Studio Code. So you're going to want to download and install Visual Studio Code, which is right here. You're going to want to download it and install it in order for you to follow along in this course. So I have already downloaded and installed Visual Studio Code. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Let me go ahead and minimize this browser because we're done with that for now. As you can see, I have a shortcut right here, Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that to open Visual Studio Code. Alright, as you can see, now we have Visual Studio open. We can go ahead and start creating our files and writing our HTML codes. But first of all, we're going to go ahead and create a project folder, a folder where we can go ahead and start saving our HTML document into. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me actually take this to this site. And I'm going to come over here and create a new folder. And I'm going to call this folder HTML practice, something like this, and hit enter. And now the next step is for us to actually open our project folder right here inside our Visual Studio Code. Alright, so let me actually go ahead and expand Visual Studio Code. Now I'm going to come over here to File, and I'm going to say Open Folder. And I will navigate to our desktop because our project folder is on the desktop. Alright, as you can see, this is our project folder, HTML practice, that we've just created now. And then we're going to go ahead and say select folder, like so. Alright, so now our folder, our project folder called HTML practice is opened inside Visual Studio. As you can see, now we can go ahead and start creating our HTML document inside of our project folder. Alright, so to create a new HTML document or file, all we need to do is to go ahead and click on this icon that says new file. We can as well create a new folder inside of our project folder, but for now we're going to go ahead and create a file. So let's go ahead and click on that new file. We're going to name our file. I'm going to go ahead and call our HTML file with index.html. So please note, this is very important. Every HTML file must end with .html extension. That is the identity of every HTML file. That is how our computer and browser recognize our HTML document. Without the .html extension, our HTML file will not be recognized as a HTML document. So please take note of that. Every HTML file you created must end with the extension .html. So now, after giving our HTML file a name, we're going to want to go ahead and hit enter. And now we have our HTML file created successfully. And we can go ahead and start writing our HTML code inside of our HTML file right here called index.html. And we're going to be doing that in our next video. So friend, this is basically how we go about setting up our environment to start writing our HTML code. Hope everything is clear to you, and I will see you in the next video.